Fifth grade ELA, text at 12, Achieving a Good Dream. The title of the book is Surfer of the Century. It is a biography of a great Hawaiian surfer named Duke. Listen to his creed of aloha. In Hawaii, we greet friends, loved ones, or strangers with aloha, which means with love. Aloha is the key word to the universal spirit of real hospitality, which makes Hawaii renowned as the world's center of understanding and fellowship. Try meeting or leaving people with aloha. You'll be surprised by their reaction. I believe it, and this is my creed. Aloha to you. So Duke believed in showing love and kindness. At the same time, he is a fierce competitor. Is that a contradiction? How does a person do both? Let's see what the author, Ellie Crow, thinks about that. Surf's Up. Eager surfers gripped their wooden surfboards and stared out at the monster waves spawned far out at sea. 30-foot blue birds streaked across miles of ocean in a solid line, crashing in white foam on Waikiki Beach. Such huge waves occurred only on extraordinary occasions, the results of underwater earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Who dared surf the bluebirds? Only one surfer mastered the gigantic wave that day in 1917, Duke Kawanamoko. He rode a thundering bluebird for almost 2 miles from the deep blue ocean to the white sand beach. And the Pacific Ocean was Duke's backyard. Born in 1890 in Honolulu on the Hawaiian island of Oahu, Duke Paio Kanamuku lived with his family across the road from Waikiki Beach. Duke's childhood was filled with aloha. His parents were loving and supportive. He had 5 brothers and 3 sisters and more than 30 cousins with whom to play. Neighbors helped one another and got together often, sharing the bananas, coconuts, taro, and sweet potatoes they grew in their gardens, and their fish, crabs, squid, and octopuses they caught in the ocean. When he was 4 years old, Duke learned to swim in the old Hawaiian way. His father and uncle took him in an outrigger canoe, tied a rope around his waist, and tossed him into the ocean. Wiggling like a little tadpole, Duke made his way back to the canoe. Duke's mother told him never to be afraid of the water and to go out as far as he wanted. His father said the mighty shark was their family's Hawaiian guardian. Go ahead. Duke's swimming each day. Duke soon learned to surf, dive, and hold his breath underwater for minutes at a time. Aloha. Love, kindness, grace, affection, compassion, also a tradition Hawaiian greeting, and farewell. In school, Duke struggled with his lessons, but in the ocean he was a star. As soon as the school bell rang, he raced to the beach and dived into the blue waves. The ocean was a second home to Duke, and he was happiest when he was swimming. By the time he was a teenager, Duke was a very fast swimmer. His tall, strong body was designed for swimming. His large hands scooped through the water while his big feet, like fins, propelled him along. Duke had a natural talent, and he was determined to use it. He wanted to win races. He wanted to be a champion swimmer. Many of his friends could swim fast. The difference between swimming fast and winning races would be dedication, hard work. Duke pushed himself to get better, swimming miles through the ocean day after day until his arms and legs muscles burned. He dropped out of high school and started working on the beach, selling surfboards. He earned enough money to help pay his family's bills, and he had plenty of time to swim. Soon Duke swam faster than all his friends, and he longed for an opportunity to race the best swimmers from the mainland United States. So what do you know about Duke so far? When several top Australian swimmers visited Hawaii in the 1910, Duke studied their special crawl stroke. Deciding that their stiff leg kick used up too much energy, Duke developed a flare kick, a flexible knee version of the Australian crawl. He called his new swimming style the Hawaiian crawl and joked that his kick was the Kanamoki kick. One afternoon in the summer of 1911, Bill Rawlins, a Hawaiian attorney, with an interest in swimming, was watching Duke slash through the ocean. He couldn't believe how fast this young man swam. Fetching his stopwatch, he asked Duke and 2 of his friends to swim a measured 100-yard course. When Rollins timed the swimmers, he was stunned. Duke had shown amazing speed. Rollins thought Duke had the making of a swimming champion. "I'd like to coach you," Rollins told Duke. Duke's heart leaped. "It's a deal if you think I've got it," he said. They closed the agreement with a handshake and a smile. So do you remember from Silent Star that a traveling coach spotted Hoy playing baseball? What's the common thread? Duke and his two friends joined with other eager swimmers to form a swim team. Rollins told the group that to get recognition for any records they set, they had to belong to a surf club. Duke had tried earlier to join the Helena Club, and he had refused membership even though he knew some of the members. To the club, he was just a penniless peach boy. Duke was hurt, but managed to shrug off the rejection. Acting on Rollins' advice, the members of the swimming team organized the Hunal Club of the Waves. They called it the Poor Man's Surf Club because they had no clubhouse and met under a Hoy tree at Waikiki Beach. Sitting in the shade of the tree, Duke and his friends worked on building bigger surfboards with sleeker lines and better balance. Duke developed a huge 16-foot, 114-pound board that handled well. In Waikiki's rolling waves, the Beach Boys worked a new surfing maneuvers, standing on a board backwards, stepping from board to board, sliding left and right with the waves, doing headstands, and riding tandem with another person, usually a pretty girl, on the surfer's shoulder. In 1910, Hawaii Sports Club had voted to form the Hawaiian Amateur Athletic Union. Events and possible participation in the Olympics. The OE Hawaii decided to hold its first contest, a swim meet, on August 12, 1911. This was Duke's big chance. He would compete against the national-ranked swimmers from the mainland United States. The race meant a lot to Hawaii. There were many gifted watermen on the island, but no Hawaiian had ever been recognized by the world as a top swimming champion. Rollins was confident Duke could beat the swimmers from the mainland and make it onto the U.S. team for the 1912 Olympic Games in Stockholm, Sweden. On the day of the swim meet, excited spectators gathered at Honolulu's waivers. Hawaii did not have an Olympic-sized swimming pool, so the contest was held in the ocean, with the swimmers racing between two piers in the harbor. The crowd hummed with eager anticipation as the start of the 100-yard freestyle race grew near. Heart-thudding Duke stood at the edge of the wharf. Bam! The pistol shot rang. Duke's family and friends screamed his name as the swimmers hit the water. They were neck to neck until Duke, fierce with determination, forged ahead. He plowed through the water like a speedboat, a mound of water rising in front of his chest, a white wake of foam trailing behind him. Duke shot to the finish line with lightning speed, pulling himself out of the water. Duke was puzzled by the judges' startled expressions. Then they shouted that Duke had broken the world record. He had swum the race in 55.4 seconds, shaving 4.6 seconds off the official time. Duke grinned, shaking his head in amazement. The cheering spectators hugged him and clapped in his back. Everyone wanted to touch him, be a part of his success. By the end of the day, Duke had shattered 3 long-standing AAU freestyle swimming records, the 100-yard, the 50-yard, and the 220-yard. The judges declared that his time were fast enough to qualify the Olympic tryouts. Duke was bursting with excitement how great it would be to compete in the Olympics and bring home the gold for Hawaii.